What's up? Let me see if all right. I got my beer. One thing I have to do before we get this kicked off, I had this long speech written, but I think I'm just going to wing it. Right now, I'm going to invite some loony leftists to this little extravaganza. Wrong. There we go. I have a lot of stuff going on. Let me see, where is it? Okay, here's one. Cool. See what happens. There we go. There's one. Close that out. Why did I do that? Anyway, now I gotta reopen my. Yeah, I can close that out. Got to reopen sounds and videos, which is the basically what I use to I don't know if anything's going to happen. Oh, Steve. What's up, Steve? Go fuck yourself, Steve. Come on over and see us, Steve, so I can make fun of you. What's up? Let's see. That was Steve, so 3. I think 3 is the dude that wanted me to watch some stupid video, which, no, that wasn't him. That might be number 1. That might have been the first one. Did I do them in reverse order, maybe? But I'm still trying to figure out what this video is about. He's like, oh, watch this video. It goes on about, I'm trying to figure out what this is about.
Jason Aldean's TikTok page with this newspaper article right here. And you see this right here, and I'm going to zoom in for you in a second. We zoom in right here, you see it says NAACP, the Republican Party. Down in the bottom right, it says Time, the weekly. It looks like the date says May 21st. And after we do a little digging, we find the article. It's the Petal Paper in Petal, Mississippi. And here we have the NAACP, the Republican Party, like we saw. Right here, you have the date, the weekly, the May 21st time. Now, what could it possibly say? It looks like it's a letter to the editor, Mr. P.D. East. Dear Mr. East, as a public relations consultant to the NAACP, I get to see many newspapers from across the country. But never have I seen anything that startled me as much
does realize that
as the March
Republican
15th issue of the Petal Paper with its incredible ridiculing of the White Citizens Council crowd. I'm referring specifically to the full-page ad I assume you wrote headed, You Too Can Be Superior. I hope I'm not congratulating a dead man. This must have taken courage, and I hope you are still with us. I'm mighty curious to know what happened after you exploded this blockbuster in your community. And if you read Mr. East's response, he goes on to tell Mr. Gross that he was called an in-lover, that he lost over 200 subscriptions, and that he was pretty much bothered and harassed in his small town.
Really upset.
Well, who exactly was P.D. East, may we ask? He was an American journalist who founded and edited the Petal, Mississippi's weekly newspaper, the Petal Paper. He's known for his use of satire to criticize white supremacy in Jim Crow-era Mississippi. And according to this article, he was ostracized from the community, he was spat on, he was threatened with violence. His newspaper lost all its subscriptions.
Mississippi, where
and why would this happen to
ran
Mr. P.D. East?
In 1956.
Because he tried that in a small town. He challenged the Southern racist establishment. But let Jason Aldean tell it, and everybody that's supporting this song has nothing to do with race.
And in response to this, I just invited him over to basically make fun of him. There we go. So basically, I invited him over to make fun of him with evidence. I'm better with evidence than he'll come over and throw insults, which is what he does. Yeah, some note. In 3 days, pick up our car, a Volkswagen Voyage 2018. Brazilians don't understand that in the U.S., Volkswagens are expensive. They're the poor man's Mercedes. Uh, let's see if any of them come over. There's the Instagram. I got that. I found some other things on Instagram that were like, wow. The loony leftist cult. So, um, add this to your he's batshit crazy cult member, and they wonder why I call them loony leftists. Gotta. Wow. Yeah, there ain't nothing wrong with that dude. Oh, let me turn the sound down.
Also es ist wirklich unglaublich.
Okay.
Hey, ja, perfekt. Also es ist wirklich unglaublich. Hey, ja, perfekt.
Nothing wrong with this guy. Holy shit. That dude thinks there's nothing wrong with him. And he's probably a teacher in the United States. I've got some other points. Okay, today I was watching a video. Make sure that's in the right spot. Yeah. Today I was watching a video from what people would call a black conservative. Aren't we, and I call myself center right, trying to get away from color as a determining factor in everything? How about conservative? He's a conservative. He's an American, not an African American. Elon Musk is an African American. Dual citizenship. He's African and American. All you people are Americans. And if you've never been to fucking Africa, you ain't an African American. That would be like calling me Brazilian American. We're literally the only idiots in the world that do that. Now here's some truth for you, and these are the type of people I follow. I'm working with, and I think Grumpy Farmer was talking about that today, the climate change bullshit. This is just an excuse for them to be upset. That's all. Tell me I'm wrong. It's a cult. They're looking for a reason to be victimized. It all comes back to CRT. How dare you? What, not think you're a fucking climate change expert? Holy shit. Yeah, those are the top ones are climate change activists. The idiot in the bottom is a teenager who didn't get spanked enough as a child. And what else have I got planned for tonight? I'm waiting for one like a loony leftist to show up on the chat to call me a name or something, because that's all they're going to do. If not, you know what? I think I am going to. Let me see. Oh yeah, this one here, this video here I saw today. if you're going to pretend to be the opposite gender, could you at least try and pretend to be better looking? So, my camera. Yeah. Holy shit, are these people ugly? Wow, such language. It's a cult. Yeah, that's exactly. It's called a cult. Holy shit. How about you just shut the fuck up? Holy. And ugly. They're always ugly. They're always like, not even fugly. I didn't turn the desktop audio on. Anyway, they're fugly. Holy crap. So, I'm waiting. I'd love for that one that put up that video. I guess I don't get it. Because was he trying to show that there was some party switch or something? I don't get it. Really don't. The Jason Aldean movie or song, which in the video basically it showed loony leftists being fucking loony leftists. Two things they like to do: assault people and burn shit down. Wow. Oh, did you know that? Yeah, there are still loony leftists out there that believe the collusion hoax. They believe it. So, I'm going to answer because he's not coming in. The question or the thing about this party switch myth that always like. I got to go back to. Here's one from. Almost forgot this one because this one's good. Um, I like how the wand says it's not okay, like it fucking matters to everyone.
Agree or disagree with the following statement. It is okay to be white.
No, that's not okay. It's terrible to be white.
What?
Yes, it's okay to be white.
What are your guys' thoughts about people that are responding to that saying they disagree with that, saying no?
I think they're racist when they say that. And you gotta live and let live, you know? I think it's better with white.
What?
Yes, it's okay to be white.
What are your guys' thoughts about people that are responding to that saying they disagree with that, saying no?
I think they're racist when they say that. And you gotta live and let live, you know? I think it's better with white and chocolate. And, I think it makes our world, we all different flavors, just like ice cream.
Is it okay to be Asian?
Nah, you don't want to be them either. Nah.
What the fuck?
Do you agree or disagree with the following statement? It is okay to be white.
No, that's not okay.
What?
I like James Klug because he literally goes out and looks for these idiots. Let me see, I gotta move this over. Anyway, he goes out and looks for these idiots. And exposes them for the cult they are. They're a cult. They're not intelligent people. Never have been. Still nobody. The loony leftist I invited. I even played his stupid video. So, are you getting it yet? Wait a minute. I invited those loony. You saw me do it. The cowards won't come over because they know I'm going to fuck them up. However, yeah. That's,
Are you fucking getting it yet?
so, I need to, you know what? What can I, should I address him with him not being here? Should I, you know, he's a coward. He's not going to show up. If he does show up, it's just going to be a bunch of insults, you know, to, what's up? Oh, fuck. Wait a minute. I got yours here. I got yours here. Sound effects. Got to go down to F's here.
Fuck off, Pastor Deerskin!
There you go, buddy. But, yeah, I invited a bunch of loony leftists. You missed it. I did it live online. Still waiting. Heroes, man. Waiting for someone to say something stupid so I can pounce, you know what I mean? It's like deer hunting, like I'm up in my stand and I'm waiting for a fucking idiot to walk in. Like literally that's how this stuff comes about. A loony leftist says something fucking retarded and I go, that doesn't even sound fucking intelligent. And yeah, that's how these lists come about. You're in a cult one started with 10. I didn't make that shit up. Those fucking idiots like would say it over and over, and yes, it's called being in a cult. It's a cult. It's fucking, and they do, and to prove they're not in a cult. The stuff that I do on that list, they'll just do it over and over. Like my favorite is, all you do is copy and paste. All you do is the same shit over and over. So why should I write something new about the same shit you just did two seconds ago? My favorite is the one I shared, that I showed you the video where supposedly, I don't know what the newspaper article was about, the babbling fucking idiot. The NAACP was started by the Republican Party in 1902. This is what happens when you introduce CRT into schools. They don't actually know the real fucking history. And that's why CRT was introduced in our schools, was because if history were actually taught the way it happened, the Democrats come off looking like world-class assholes. But
High quality bullshit.
CRT, high quality, but it's not even high quality bullshit. It's just bullshit. Holy fuck. Waiting for like one of them, just one. You got guts there, people. Like none of them come in here. Should I fuck with this dude on this video? Just share it with him after it's recorded about his like party switch bullshit or what? I'll let you guys decide. Should I fuck with him and record it and then send it to him or what? I have no fucking clue. In a minute, I'm going to need a beer, so. Of course, people don't realize that CRT and gender ideology are rolled together. They're trying to make victims because you need an oppressor class and a victim class for Marxism to take hold. Oh yeah, I'm having to use a different system because it's fucking this computer has 8.1 on it and nothing works with 8.1. One of my favorites.
And then we have political correctness, which is this joy that is the other side of health and safety, which is a small oppression of our physical movement, so we can't do anything without permission from the state. And political correctness is the oppression of our intellectual movement, so no one says
Jason
anything anymore in
Aldean.
case somebody else gets offended. What happens if you say that and someone gets offended? Well, they can be offended. What's wrong with being offended? When did sticks and stones made break my bones stop being relevant? Isn't that what you teach children, for God's sake? That's what you teach toddlers. He called me an idiot. Don't worry about him. He's a dick. Now you have adults going, I was offended, and I have rights. Well, so what? Be offended. Nothing happens. You're an adult. Grow up. Deal with it. I was offended. I don't care. Nothing happens when you're offended. There's nothing. I went to the comedy show, and the comedian said something about the Lord, and I was offended. And when I woke up in the morning, I had leprosy. Nothing happens. I want to live in democracy, but I never want to be offended again. Well, you're an idiot. How do you make a law about offending people? How do you make it an offence to offend people? Being offended is subjective. That has everything to do with you as an individual, or a collective, or a group, or a society, or a community, your moral conditioning, your religious beliefs. What offends me may not offend you, and you want to make laws about this? I'm offended when I see boy bands, for God's sake. It's a valid offence. I'm offended. They're corporate shills posing as musicians to further a modelling career, and frankly, I'm disgusted. Right? But what am I going to do? Call the cops? Hello, it's me again. They're on the telly this time. 5 of them, that's it. Yeah, white suits dancing like girls, that's them. 5 minutes, I'll be out the front traumatised. Bye.
So now this the one I call Cheese Whiz or Cheese Doodle is sending me link after link from Facebook or YouTube instead of coming over here and confronting me. Coward. You're a coward. Let me here. I wonder if you can. I'm going to go see if I can find his. We're live right now. There, douche nozzle. So live chat's open. We're live right now there, Cheese Doodle. So we're live right now, Cheese Doodle. Oh, let me did it go F5 or F6? There we go. So I want all you guys to see what a coward this prick is. We're live. We're live right now there, Cheese Doodle. So we're live right now there, Cheese Doodle. So you see me inviting this douche nozzle, but he ain't coming over. What a hero. They're heroes. They're such heroes. They're such fucking heroes, aren't they? I don't know. All right, you want me? I'm going to the racism and critical race theory. So, party switch myth. I like this one because it's true.
Once upon a time, every student of history, and that meant pretty much everyone with a high school education, knew this. The Democratic Party was the party of slavery and Jim Crow, and the Republican Party was the party of emancipation and racial integration. Democrats were the Confederacy, and Republicans were the Union. Jim Crow Democrats were dominant in the South, and socially tolerant Republicans were dominant in the North. But then, in the 1960s and 70s, everything supposedly
Are you getting
flipped.
it yet?
Suddenly, the Republicans became the racists, and the Democrats became the champions of civil rights. Fabricated by left-leaning academic elites and journalists, the story went like this. Republicans couldn't win a national election by appealing to the better nature of the country. They could only win by appealing to the worst. Attributed to Richard Nixon, the media's all-purpose bad guy, this came to be known as the Southern Strategy. It was very simple. Win elections by winning the South. And to win the South, appeal to racists. So the Republicans, the party of Lincoln, were to now be labeled the party of rednecks. But this story of the two parties switching identities is a myth. In fact, it's three myths wrapped into one false narrative. Let's take a brief look at each myth in turn. Myth number one. In order to be competitive in the South, Republicans started to pander to white racists in the 1960s. Fact, Republicans actually became competitive in the South as early as 1928 when Republican Herbert
Wasn't
Hoover
that newspaper
won over
article from
47%
1956?
of the South's popular vote against Democrat Al Smith. In 1952, Republican President Dwight Eisenhower won the southern states of Tennessee, Florida, and Virginia. And in 1956, he picked up Louisiana, Kentucky, and West Virginia too. And that was after he supported the Supreme Court decision in Brown versus Board of Education that desegregated public schools, and after he sent the 101st Airborne to Little Rock Central High School to enforce integration. Myth number two, Southern Democrats, angry with the Civil Rights Act of 1964, switched parties. Fact, of the 21 Democratic senators who opposed the Civil Rights Act, just one became a Republican. The other 20 continued to be elected as Democrats or were replaced by other Democrats. On average, those 20 seats didn't go Republican for another 2.5 decades. Myth number three. Since the implementation of the Southern Strategy, the Republicans have dominated the South. Fact, Richard Nixon, the man who is often credited with creating the Southern Strategy, lost the Deep South in 1968. In contrast, Democrat Jimmy Carter nearly swept the region in 1976, 12 years after the Civil Rights Act of 1964. And in 1992, over 28 years later, Democrat Bill Clinton won
up, Hound of
Georgia,
Goshen?
Louisiana, Arkansas, Tennessee, Kentucky, and West Virginia. The truth is, Republicans didn't hold a majority of Southern congressional seats until 1994, 30 years after the Civil Rights Act. As Kevin Williamson of National Review writes, if Southern rednecks ditched the Democrats because of a civil rights law passed in 1964, it is strange that they waited until the late 1980s and early 1990s to do so. They say things move slower in the South, but not that slow. So what really happened? Why does the South now vote overwhelmingly Republican? Because the South itself has changed. Its values have changed. The racism that once defined it doesn't anymore. Its values
Now
today
they
are
have to
conservative
invent
ones,
it.
pro-life, pro-gun, and pro-small government. And here's the proof. Southern whites are far more likely to vote for a black conservative like Senator Tim Scott of South Carolina than a white liberal. In short, history has moved on. Like other regions of the country, the South votes values, not skin color. The myth of the Southern Strategy is just the Democrats' excuse for losing the South, and yet another way to smear Republicans with the label racist. Don't buy it. I'm Carol Swain, professor of political science and law at Vanderbilt University.
So this douche nozzle that I sent the invitation to hasn't come over. But he sent me like 4 or 5 other videos and just called me names. So let's go see what dumb fuck. I call him Cheese Doodle because he has cheese whiz. I don't know. Maybe he's talking about what's between his toes. I don't know. Anyway, let's go. I have his shit on speed dial. He's so stupid. Let me see. Play some of those videos live for your brain dead fans. I wonder if I can do both. Permit you. I just played your last line of babbling bullshit and debunked it, but you weren't there because you're a coward to actually learn something. Let me see if it's. I just played your last line of babbling bullshit and debunked it, but you weren't there because you're a coward to actually learn something. There. So anyway, yes, I have him on speed dial because, yeah, I wanted to. He was definitely one I wanted to invite, but yeah, exactly. That's what it is. Well, they can't win an argument, so they have to come up with. Well, I have a perfect description of it. Where is that? Let's see. That's exactly what critical race theory is about. All that stuff. Let's see. F5. Yeah. So, literally, what it's all about, and they hate the fact that I know that. That's what it is. They hate the fact that some people actually know it.
The victims of the Democratic playing card deck. This group makes up the core of the voting element as far as the Democratic Party goes, and thus helps the most to promote the leftist cause. These are the people who think they've been wrong or disadvantaged, or have been told that they've been wronged or disadvantaged. They're also being told that the opposing parties, Republicans and conservatives, are out to wrong them and disadvantage them even further. These are the things commonly referred to as playing the race/age/gender/class card. This is used very often by liberals, so get ready to hear a lot of it. It works, it is effective, and this second group of people, the victims, falls for it very easily. As a result, they become slaves of the liberal mindset. Look no further than how the Democrats try to scare African Americans into believing that Republicans are holding them down, how the Democrats try to scare middle-class Americans into thinking Republicans are hurting the middle class, and how the Democrats try to scare women into thinking Republicans are against their rights. Democrats also frequently try to scare senior citizens into thinking Republicans want to destroy Social Security. Look at the key words mentioned in these accusations: against, holding down, hurting, destroying. In essence, it is fear-mongering targeted at certain groups of people in society, and it works. These Democrats and leftists attempt to spin the issues into backing up this fear-mongering, and people listen to it. And as a result, this entire second group is formed the victims of the Democratic playing card deck. These people often do not know much about the issues, especially as far as fact and reality goes. What they do think they know, however, is that Republicans and conservatives are completely against them and trying to hold them down, or their issue, in general. They believe the way they do because of the total spin and fear-mongering they hear from Democratic and liberal leaders. They then go out and vote for these said Democrats, and become strong leftists, mostly out of fear and loathing of the other side values instilled into them. Furthermore, they become very likely to start calling conservatives bigots and racists because of the lies that the liberal left has drilled into their heads.
From Angola. I'm Angolian, or from Angola. We're the only dumb shits that do that. I carved a face in an apple one time and let it out in Maxine Waters. That face could stop a fucking sundial. Holy shit. I've seen ugly. I've seen trans people that were better looking than that. But, all right. Yeah, they hate the fact. He just, these people are cowards. And then, did you know that there are loony leftists that are still hope upon hope that Trump is going to get, they still believe the collusion hoax. They still think he colluded somehow. I have no idea. I didn't make the shit up. but I spent 2 days posting newspaper articles about from Mueller and what was that other guy? Oh fuck! He said the FBI shouldn't have investigated.
High quality bullshit.
So yeah, they still believe that. They believe they have a shot. Mueller said there's no collusion, so you're saying there's a chance. That's literally what, you know. So anything you guys want to talk about, because that's one nasty apple. That is, even fresh, if it looked like that, I wouldn't eat it. There's probably, a worm wouldn't even climb into that fucking apple. That is ugly. Not a single loony leftist, as you can see, and I invited him. And they're the ones I want in here because they're fucking hilarious. That's how this stuff came about. Was loony leftists say stupid shit, and then that
The Inconvenient Truth About the Democratic Party by Carol Swain. When you think about racial equality and civil rights, which political party comes to mind? The Republicans? Or the Democrats? Most people would probably say the Democrats. But this answer is incorrect. Since its founding in 1829, the Democratic Party has fought against every major civil rights initiative and has a long history of discrimination. The Democratic Party defended slavery, started the Civil War, opposed Reconstruction, founded the Ku Klux Klan, imposed segregation, perpetrated lynchings, and fought against the Civil Rights Acts of the 1950s and 1960s. In contrast, the Republican Party was founded in 1854 as an anti-slavery party. Its mission was to stop the spread of slavery into the new Western territories, with the aim of abolishing it entirely. This effort, however, was dealt a major blow by the Supreme Court. In the 1857 case, Dred Scott v. Sandford, the court ruled that slaves aren't citizens, they're property. The 7 justices who voted in favor of slavery? All Democrats. The 2 justices who dissented? Both Republicans. The slavery question was, of course, ultimately resolved by a bloody civil war. The commander-in-chief during that war was the first Republican president, Abraham Lincoln, the man who freed the slaves. 6 days after the Confederate Army surrendered, John Wilkes Booth, a Democrat, assassinated President Lincoln. Lincoln's vice president, a Democrat named Andrew Johnson, assumed the presidency. But Johnson adamantly opposed Lincoln's plan to integrate the newly freed slaves into the South's economic and social order. Johnson and the Democratic Party were unified in their opposition to the 13th Amendment, which abolished slavery, the 14th Amendment, which gave blacks citizenship, and the 15th Amendment, which gave blacks the vote. All 3 passed only because of universal Republican support.
Lying to everyone's face.
During the era of Reconstruction, federal troops stationed in the South helped secure rights for the newly freed slaves. Hundreds of black men were elected to Southern state legislatures as Republicans, and 22 black Republicans served in the U.S. Congress by 1900. The Democrats did not elect a black man to Congress until 1935. But after Reconstruction ended, when the federal troops went home, Democrats roared back into power in the South. They quickly re-established white supremacy across the region with measures like black codes, laws that restricted the ability of blacks to own property and run businesses. And they imposed poll taxes and literacy tests, used to subvert the black citizens' right to vote. And how was all of this enforced? By terror, much of it instigated by the Ku Klux Klan, founded by a Democrat, Nathan Bedford Forrest.
Isn't it funny?
As historian
KKK,
Eric Foner,
BLM,
himself a Democrat,
Antifa,
notes, In
All
effect, the
Democrats,
Klan was a military
terrorist
force serving the interests of the Democratic Party. President Woodrow Wilson, a Democrat, shared many views with the Klan. He resegregated many federal agencies, and even screened the first movie ever played at the White House, the racist film The Birth of a Nation, originally entitled The Klansman. A few decades later, the only serious congressional opposition to the landmark Civil Rights Act of 1964 came from Democrats. 80% of Republicans in Congress supported the bill. Less than 70% of Democrats did. Democratic senators filibustered the bill for 75 days, until Republicans mustered the few extra votes needed to break the logjam. And when all of their efforts to enslave blacks, keep them enslaved, and then keep them from voting had failed, the Democrats came up with a new strategy. If black people are going to vote, they might as well vote for Democrats. As President Lyndon Johnson was purported to have said about the Civil Rights Act, "I'll have them voting Democrat for 200 years. So now, the Democratic Party prospers on the votes of the very people it has spent much of its history oppressing.
Populist
Democrats falsely claim that the Republican Party is the villain, when in reality it's the failed policies of the Democratic Party that have kept blacks down. Massive government welfare has decimated the black family. Opposition to school choice has kept them trapped in failing schools.
$1.03 trillion a year.
Politically
It's our
correct
largest
policing
budget
has
item.
left black neighborhoods defenseless against violent crime. So, when you think about racial equality and civil rights, which political party should come to mind? I'm Carol Swain, professor of political science and law at Vanderbilt University.
Hey, dingle nut. Hey, dingle nuts. Well, at least you were on my podcast. You look like a fucking idiot, but you were on my podcast. We're live. Oh, you could, well, okay. My mic is back. Thank you, Grumpy Fire. I'm working without an engineer here, so I'm sure you can hear my sound effects. This douche nozzle here, for some reason, they won't come over here. Is it what? Do it. Of course, we have the collusion hoax that everyone is still believing. But, oh, I'm going to go back over there just because I won't waste my time. I should add that to my you're in a cult if list. That's what I actually I'm going to tell him that too. I might have to add that. That'll be 53. I might have to add that to my you're in a cult if list because you all use that excuse to not have to face the music. There. Holy shit. I might have to add that to my you're in a cult if list because you all whatever. We're all good. I what's up, Jack? Is it Jacquie? And I'm saying it in Portuguese, the Portuguese way. In Portuguese, it was Jacquie. Or Jackie. It's like my name here isn't Sean, it's Shaun. Or John. I've been called John. Shun. But any like questions like who here has ever been to Brazil? Anybody ever been to Brazil? I'm sure you've seen a Brazilian supermodel. I'm not a big fan of. Yeah, he's sending me. Yeah, he's like. All right, the dingle nuts there. Whatever. He's already been on my podcast, and he looks like a total idiot. So I don't care. Anyway, every time I get up to get a beer, I put on one of my. Yeah, they won't come over here. I'm trying to figure out. You should actually visit. Actually, it's a great vacation spot. Not where my like when I lived in Floripa, I could walk anywhere or get a cab anywhere in any direction and go to a beach. And gorgeous beaches. Not like for some reason American beaches have a lot of stones. Brazil doesn't have that. Like you go out there, it's just sand. Of course, Brazil also has sharks, but also I don't swim in the streams here up north where my in-laws are from because, well, they have fucking piranha. My father-in-law shot an alligator in his backyard, and he's got some gator steaks in the freezer for me, but yeah, I don't think I'll be going out walking in his backyard with a fucking gun at least. And then next Tuesday, I did a 40-hour course just to take a test to give me the privilege of taking a test so I could get my permit to get my license, to go to a school to get my license. Be near a golf course. Well, they have gators on golf courses in Brazil. I bet you I could find you a golf course in Brazil right now. I just got to open Google. And let me go down to F5 here so you can see my Google. Golf courses in Brazil. Golf courses in Brazil. Well, there you go. Look at that. Top 100 golf courses in Brazil. See, they got them. There you go. You're good to go for golf. I don't play golf. I bowl. I went to a bowling. No special shoes, nothing. You just like show up in like your sneakers and throw the ball. Like everybody gets up and I'm sure there's a golf course near me. I just saw 100. So there's probably one in Floripa. I know there is. Trying to think of what else. Oh yeah, don't put toilet paper down the toilet. They get upset. I use baby wipes now because I like a lemony fresh ass. Anyway, yeah, this guy's still sending me videos and saying I ain't opening your audio bullshit. Yeah, that's the loony leftist cult. What time is it? Oh, I've been on almost. It doesn't feel like an hour. Getting down there in beer too. Like, people are trying to get, literally looking at the states from the outside now. Like, you guys are fucked. Sorry, but, and I'm an American too, so when people, like my wife watches like YouTube or Instagram or something, some of the stupid, like that dude I showed you earlier who wanted to be a dog, or, had surgery to look like a dog. Yeah. And you wonder why the rest of the world thinks we're fucking stupid. But I need a beer, so here's something for you to listen to.
It can be used as an adjective, such as, John's doing all the fucking work. As part of an adverb, perhaps one of the most interesting words in the English language today is the word fuck. Out of all of the English words that begin with the letter F, fuck is the only word that is referred to as the F word. It's the one magical word. Just by its sound can describe pain, pleasure, hate, and love. Fuck, as most words in the English language, is derived from German, the word frichen, which means to strike. In English, fuck falls into many grammatical categories. As a transitive verb, for instance, John fucked Shirley. As an intransitive verb, Shirley fucks. Its meaning's not always sexual. It can be used as an adjective, such as, John's doing all the fucking work. As part of an adverb, Shirley talks too fucking much. As an adverb enhancing an adjective, Shirley is fucking beautiful. As a noun, I don't give a fuck. As part of a word, abso-fucking-lutely, or in-fucking-credible. And, as almost every word in a sentence, fuck the fucking fuckers. As you must realize, there aren't too many words with the versatility of fuck, as in these examples describing situations such as fraud, I got fucked at the used car lot. Dismay, oh fuck it. Trouble, I guess I'm really fucked now. Aggression, don't fuck with me, buddy. Difficulty, I don't understand this fucking question. Inquiry, who the fuck was that? Dissatisfaction, I don't like what the fuck is going on here. Incompetence, he's a fuck off. Dismissal, why don't you go outside and play hide and go fuck yourself? I'm sure you can think of many more examples. With all of these multi-purpose applications, how can anyone be offended when you use the word? We say use this unique, flexible word more often in your daily speech. It will identify the quality of your character immediately. Say it loudly and proudly. Fuck you!
Yeah, when I put some sound bites in here, so when I have to go get a beer, you're entertained because, well, Jimmy Pottering comment. Pottering is butt. What? Pottering? Oh yeah. Yeah, I like my ass. They smell lemony fruit. I learned that from the infantry. Armor, actually. I carried them in armor too. In armor, I carried so much shit. Jim will tell you, I had a stove. I had the stuff to cook on. I had stuff to make coffee. I had a TV. I had an inverter so we could, hook up to the tank. Asked Jim about the time he fucking took out a wall on a building. I'm looking for comments. George Carlin wrote it. I love George Carlin. George Carlin tears down like the right and left. That's why I like George Carlin. He's not biased. Like this climate change bullshit. Pack your shit, folks. We're going away. Actually, I use some of his stuff. Like, where is it? Oh, I love this one because it describes politics so perfectly.
Whoever coined the phrase, let the buyer beware, was probably bleeding from the asshole.
But, I've tried to get loony leftists in here, especially the turd challenge. People hate Trump. So I've been trying to get them in here to challenge me on that. Oh, Trump is horrible. Trump is okay. Waiting for someone to come in and take that challenge. It's 1 for 1. You have to give a Sniffy Joe accomplishment for a Trump accomplishment. So far, nobody can get it done. Everybody just calls me names and oh yeah.
Eu vou dar uma aula sobre investimentos, onde em menos de uma hora eu...
Okay. Droga. Anyway, yeah, I saw him at Cortland College. The guy was, like, for a comedian, probably should have run for president because he seemed to be a bit smarter than well, definitely smarter than what we got now. Holy fuck. Could you imagine being... You have Biden here and Fetterman here and only one sign language interpreter. Holy fuck, you'd have arthritis when you... At what point do you go... I can actually feel sorry for John Fetterman. He had a stroke. I get that. He had a stroke. But the fucking loony left do it like they think it's a good idea. I believe Fettermaning...
are so much better than the Eagles.
Still Fettermaning, I see. For those who don't know, Fettermaning is a verb. It is babbling incoherently on a subject, normally giving responses that have nothing to do with the questions being asked. Generally caused by brain damage from listening to other loony leftists
Gigi
for
made
extended
this video
periods of
possible
time,
as well.
it is one of the leading symptoms of TURD. Example. What has Sniffy Joe done for the country? Fettermaning. Well, Trump once got a traffic ticket back in 1973. I asked what Sniffy Joe has done for the country, and you started Fettermaning. Other symptoms. A pronounced cognitive dissonance, sudden bouts of rage, rioting, and uncontrollable crying. A persistent unwillingness to accept that Donald Trump made America great again. TURD is caused by the mere mention of Donald Trump, or if you mention something stupid Sniffy Joe has done, they will bring up Donald Trump, with some already debunked mainstream media talking point, i.e. Russia. Their preferred news sources having failed to inform them that the alternative candidate was a criminal parasite with Alzheimer's, owned by China, and having a crackhead son selling influence around the world. Research is ongoing, but it appears to correlate closely with the following environmental and behavioral factors. Membership in the Democratic Party. Identifying as a feminist. Currently enrolled in college and or in possession of a liberal arts college degree. Living in a densely populated metropolitan area. Massive student debt. Spotty or non-existent work history. Patients are very resistant to treatment and dangerous in large groups. Any possibility of treatment requires that they be separated from their hive mind support apparatus. They cannot begin the process of accepting reality in the presence of encouragement towards delusion and irrationality. Separation may require the assistance of law enforcement. Basically, it's talking around the elephant in the room. If they had to answer this truthfully, they'd have to admit a horrible truth. Why did you vote for Sniffy Joe? The horrible truth. Because they're fucking idiots.
Pretty much. And that idiot over on InstaFace just keeps rolling with the, insults. But he ain't coming over, right? Wait a minute. Let's go over and let me see. Where is he? There he is. All right. He's still on my. He doesn't get it. You're still on my podcast, right? You do realize you're still on my podcast. Everyone can see me coming over here and making fun of you. So, yeah. You do realize you're still on my podcast. You're just, like, looking like a fucking idiot and a coward at the same time. Let's see. You do realize you're still on my podcast. You're just, like, looking like a fucking idiot and a coward at the same time. So, woohoo. He beat a man, huh? Well, yeah. So, yeah, he doesn't get it that he's still on here. He just, not being able to defend himself or learn something maybe. He's just making insults. You're in a cult. You're in a cult if, let me see, where's insults? That would be,
You know you're in a cult if. 38. You resort to insults as you can't handle the truth. Delusional, characterized by or holding false beliefs or judgments about external reality that are held despite incontrovertible evidence to the contrary, typically as a symptom of a mental condition. Patients with schizophrenia may show dysfunctional impulsivity and impulsive aggression.
I've talked to this guy before. If anybody is schizophrenic, it's him. Did you know calling your girlfriend or your wife, your girlfriend or wife, instead of partner, is degrading them? Because that would mean they're not your equal. That's that fucking retard shit. Cheese doodle. Anyway. Yeah, I saw Carlin at Cortland College in Cortland, obviously, where I'm originally from. Great act, and I love the fact that he didn't pick on one person. He fucked with everyone. Clinically tested. There we go.
Hospital tested, clinically proven bullshit.
He's talking about politicians. He didn't hold back. Fucking, and right wing, left wing, he didn't care. For instance, gender gender ideology wasn't a big thing then. But he gets into. As a matter of fact, I'm going to see if I can find that. That would be a good, because I need a beer anyway, but I actually like that bit because it is literally an excellent piece. And let me see, George Carlin on, and I'm probably going to catch a copyright for this, but I don't care. It's that fucking good. All right, let's see. F5. Yeah, I gotta find it though.
Black Lives Matter announced that they raised over $90
Buy
million.
larger mansions.
Where is that money?
Can of gash. How the planet's doing.
Gotta go back to the beginning. I've watched this many times. So,
You got people like this around you. Country's full of them now. People walking around all day long, every minute of the day, worried about everything. Worried about the air, worried about the water, worried about the soil. Worried about insecticides, pesticides, food additives, carcinogens. Worried about radon gas, worried about asbestos. Worried about saving endangered species. Let me tell you about endangered species.
I keep inviting him over to yours.
Saving
and mine.
endangered species is just
I've
one
shared
more arrogant
both.
attempt
He
by
just
humans to
cowards.
control nature. It's arrogant meddling. It's what got us in trouble in the first place. Doesn't anybody understand that? Interfering with nature. Over 90%, way over 90% of all the species that have ever lived on this planet, are gone. They're extinct. We didn't kill them all. They just disappeared. That's what nature does. They disappear these days at the rate of 25 a day. And I mean regardless of our behavior. Irrespective of how we act on this planet, 25 species that were here today will be gone tomorrow. Let them go gracefully. Leave nature alone. Haven't we done enough? We're so self-important. So self-important. Everybody's going to save something now. Save the trees.
No, he just keeps
save
sharing
the bees,
stupid videos.
Save the whales. Save those snails.
I have no idea where he gets them from.
And the greatest arrogance of all, save the planet.
Defend himself.
What?
Real time.
Are these fucking people
Just
kidding
like I
me?
said, it's like gutting deer.
Save the planet? We don't even know how to take care of ourselves yet. We haven't learned how to care for one another. We're going to save the fucking planet? I'm getting tired of that shit. Tired. I'm tired of fucking Earth Day. I'm tired of these self-righteous environmentalists, these white bourgeois liberals who think the only thing wrong with this country is there aren't enough bicycle paths.
People trying to make the world safe for their Volvos. Besides, environmentalists don't give a shit about the planet. They don't care about the planet. Not in the abstract, they don't. Not in the abstract, they don't. You know what they're interested in? A clean place to live. Their own habitat. They're worried that someday in the future they might be personally inconvenienced.
Exactly.
Narrow, unenlightened self-interest doesn't impress me. Besides, there is nothing wrong with the planet. Nothing wrong with the planet. The planet is fine. The people are fucked. Difference. The planet is fine. Compared to the people, the planet is doing great. Been here 4.5 billion years. Did you ever think about the arithmetic? Planet has been here 4.5 billion years. We've been here, what, 100,000? Maybe 200,000? And we've only been engaged in heavy industry for a little over 200 years. 200 years versus 4.5 billion.
Jackie,
and we have the conceit to think that somehow
That's all
we're
they
a
are,
threat,
programmed,
that somehow we're going to
CRT
put in jeopardy
indoctrinated
this
drones.
beautiful little blue-green ball that's just a-floating around the sun. The planet has been through a lot worse than us. Been through all kinds of things worse than us. Been through earthquakes, volcanoes, plate tectonics, continental drift, solar flares, sunspots, magnetic storms, the magnetic reversal of the poles, hundreds of thousands of years of bombardment by comets and asteroids and meteors, worldwide floods, tidal waves, worldwide fires, erosion, cosmic rays, recurring ice ages, and we think some plastic bags and some aluminum cans are going to make a difference? The planet isn't going anywhere. We are. We're going away. Pack your shit, folks. We're going away. And we won't leave much of a trace either. Thank God for that. Maybe a little styrofoam. Maybe. Little styrofoam. Planet will be here and we'll be long gone. Just another failed mutation. Just another closed-end biological mistake. An evolutionary cul-de-sac. The planet will shake us off like a bad case of fleas. A surface nuisance. You want to know how the planet's doing? Ask those people at Pompeii who are frozen into position from volcanic ash how the planet's doing. Want to know if the planet's all right? Ask those people in Mexico City or Armenia or 100 other places buried under thousands of tons of earthquake rubble if they feel like a threat to the planet this week. How about those people in Kilauea, Hawaii who build their homes right next to an active volcano and then wonder why they have lava in the living room? The planet will be here for a long, long, long time after we're gone, and it will heal itself, it will cleanse itself, because that's what it does. It's a self-correcting system. The air and the water will recover, the earth will be renewed, and if it's true that plastic is not degradable, well, the planet will simply incorporate plastic into a new paradigm, the earth plus plastic. The earth doesn't share our prejudice towards plastic. Plastic came out of the earth. The earth probably sees plastic as just another one of its children. Could be the only reason the earth allowed us to be spawned from it in the first place. It wanted plastic for itself. Didn't know how to make it. Needed us. Could be the answer to our age-old philosophical question, why are we here? Plastic. Assholes. So, the plastic is here, our job is done, we can be phased out now, and I think that's really started already, don't you? I mean, to be fair, the planet probably sees us as a mild threat, something to be dealt with, and I'm sure the planet will defend itself in the manner of a large organism, like a beehive or an ant colony can muster a defense. I'm sure the planet will think of something. What would you do if you were the planet trying to defend against this pesky, troublesome species? Let's see, what might... viruses. Viruses might be good. They seem vulnerable to viruses. And viruses are tricky, always mutating and forming new strains whenever a vaccine is developed. Perhaps this first virus could be one that compromises the immune system of these creatures. Perhaps a human immunodeficiency virus, making them vulnerable to all sorts of other diseases and infections that might come along. And maybe it could be spread sexually, making them a little reluctant to engage in the act of reproduction. Well, that's a poetic note. And it's a start. And I can dream, can't I? See, I don't worry about the little things. Bees, trees, whales, snails. I think we're part of a greater wisdom than we will ever understand. A higher order. Call it what you want. Know what I call it? The big electron. The big electron. Whoa. 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 It doesn't punish. It doesn't reward. It doesn't judge at all. It just is. And so are we. For a little while. Thanks for being here with me for a little while tonight. Thank you. Thank you very much.
A great mind. He should have been president, but that douche nozzle is over there. What's he got? Let me put this back to F. Yeah. I'm sorry. I'm actually gonna probably give this guy his own because I'm gonna fuck with him every week now. Oh, that's not the. That's not what I wanted. Okay, let's go back. Let me see. Oh, there it is. There he is. He doesn't know that, like, I have the benefit of the doubt and tried playing them, but nothing has any audio, just silence. You do realize you're still on my podcast. You're just, like, looking like a fucking idiot and a coward at the same time. Well, it's good. I'll send you the link to the podcast and you can listen to them there. Then again, you could come over personally and listen to what I'm saying, but you ain't gonna do that because you're a coward, just like every other loony leftist out there. I'm surprised you're not wearing a mask. So there we go. Anyway, yeah, that's these people. I keep inviting them over, and Jackie's right. They don't, but they're entertaining, right? I have everything here to just. It's. You ever seen a cat and a mouse? Like, they don't kill the mouse right away, right? They bat them around a little bit, right? That's what I do with these loony leftists. That's why I have that list. You're in a cult if. That's why I have these links. It just pisses them off to the point that they just block me eventually. Like, actually, my InstaFace account used to be private. Like, nobody could see it or anything. And then Grumpy Farmer went, why don't you, like, make it public so you can enjoy what I enjoy? So I made a public. Thanks, Grumpy. So now I use them for cannon fodder. Fuck it. You know what? If you're going to be stupid, use it. I'll use it. I don't give a fuck. If you're going to be stupid, I'm going to like it. Or I'm going to use it. This guy, if he came over, I have my list. I have my, which he uses every time. He does the same shit every time. Just insults. He called me, what do you call me? A pig fucker. I've never met his mother. Oh my God, you want to see him lose his mind when I said that. Never met your mother. Of course, this is the same guy that, this all started with this douche nozzle over Pride Month. Still trying to figure out what the fuck you're proud of. If you keep telling me you're born gay, what are you proud of? You made it down the birth canal. Oh, yeah. That's in here too. Yeah. Some because you're born, which is pride.
You know you're in a cult if. 13. If you get triggered because someone doesn't think you're special because you were born into one of the CRT-approved victim groups, they believe deeds and personal responsibility warrant pride.
I'm still waiting for them to tell me something they're proud of, other than they, you know.
You know you're in a cult if. 14. Someone has to explain to you things you can be proud of. Example. I served my country for 23 years, retired. Wrote a couple books, raised 4 kids, can keep my sex life to myself and graduated college with a 3.9 GPA. So, what are you proud of? Loony leftist, well, I gobble cock or eat the vagina, and tell kids about it.
Yeah. And this is, and they get upset because I don't bow down to their...
You know you're in a cult if 15 will call someone a bigot because they don't bow down to the alphabet mafia. Maybe that's why you tell kids. Kids might be impressed. Loony leftists, why can't you just leave us alone? Well, you're grooming and sterilizing children and cheating women, so.
That's why they don't like me. I don't play their games. And they made this list. I didn't make it. Like, let me explain how this list came about. It had 10 on it. It was like, the first one was, I'll play the first one for you. But there were 10 on it. It was called the Virtues of the Woke. And it grew. I'll play the first one for you.
You know you're in a cult if 1. You believe you are what your imagination says you are. Delusional, characterized by or holding false beliefs or judgments about external reality that are held despite incontrovertible evidence to the contrary, typically as a symptom of a mental condition.
So, this literally started with 10. It was starting with that one and then down to number, what is number 10? Fuck. 10. Shit. Because it's exploded. I have 52 now. What's number 10? 10 is,
You know you're in a cult if 10, thanks to Jamie Lee Curtis who didn't know how many Oscars she'd won, them can't count.
Started with 10. So how it grew to, now it's up to 52 because there was one, I was avoiding it because it's like really like childish and just but if a loony leftist or a group, because they like to gang up on people, 2, 3 will gang up on me and then do the same thing that the last person did and just keep doing it over and over. If you do it more than 3 times or 3 times or more, I wrote it down. And that's how this list grew to 52. The last one I've probably heard 100 fucking times, but I didn't write it down because it was like just so junior high. You know what I mean? It was like something you would hear in school. And so, but I finally, like, you can only hear it so many times where you go, yeah, I fucking have to write it down now.
You know you're in a cult if 52. I finally had to do it, couldn't ignore it anymore, they've done it too many times. Well, tell someone wearing braces they should see a dentist, because you're too stupid to know where you go to get braces.
Now you know why I call them loony leftists. I don't call them like... Most of them have college degrees too. They should say something. I have a college degree too, but before I was 30 years old when I went to college. So I already had some life experience when I went to college. These people have none. And that's the problem. That's why CRT sticks so hard. CRT, gender ideology, all the same. That's all the same, actually. CRT is about making victims. It's hard to make victims in the most prosperous country in the world. But if you can make a person think, oh my God, your mom and dad won't let you cut off your breast. Oh, you're oppressed. You should come with us. That's what it's about. That's what all this is about. They want socialism. Marxism. CRT is victim-based Marxism. Oppressor, oppressed. And if they can make more oppressed than oppressor, well, then they can tear down the system. That's why, defund the police. Oh my God, literally BLM came out and said they were a Marxist organization. $85 million later, they haven't helped a single fucking person, but everybody got big houses. I guess they're going bankrupt now. Way to go, dumbasses. Literally, to be perfectly frank, most of you probably don't know this, but they were spray painting that on walls down here. How was it? Vidas do negras importante. Yeah, Black Lives Matter. Really? This country's half like people of color, and there is no racism. There's classism here. There is between the government and the people, but the peasants. But yeah. But yeah, I'm about to call it quits because I'm about to go over on Facebook and see if I can start a room over there. And normally I talk to family members or anybody who shows up. And yeah, hopefully everybody learned something about the loony. Why I think everybody knew that one, they were cowards. Two, not the brightest, sharpest knives in the drawer. And three, I don't know well, wait a minute. I was going to do this because I heard about Kyle Rittenhouse again. Some dude claiming to be a Marine. Now, on the internet, it's easy to claim shit. So I'm not going to tell you what I asked him, because then if I ask someone else, they may know that if I'm asking them that, I know they're catching them in a lie. But I asked him a certain question from my time in the military. By the way, the combat patch on my right shoulder was the 2nd Marine Division. So I've been around Marines. Also, the question I asked him was, if you were in the military in the last 30 fucking years, you would know. But I said, Kyle Rittenhouse was a murderer because he shot a dude in the back after he shot him in the hand. Well, I think he shot him in the hand first, then the thigh, then the back when he was spinning. But anyway, where was I going? Anyway, I asked him a certain question. I said, I'm a Marine and we'd go to jail if we shot someone in the back. Well, I was in Iraq, and if you were setting an IED but your back was to me, you were getting a bullet. Okay, so anyway, I want to read my book, by the way. I am a firearms, what they call a master firearms instructor, and a combat shooting instructor, which is about worthless in Brazil. Anyway, criteria for justification, deadly force. Before bringing a firearm to bear for personal protection, quickly determine if the following three conditions exist. 1. By means of their language, action, behavior, or demeanor, another person has demonstrated their intent to kill or severely injure you. Would a skateboard to the head count as someone's intent to actually severely injure you or kill you? Would a person pulling a pistol, which he survived, demonstrate the intent to cause you serious harm or kill you? Would someone grabbing your firearm with the intent of taking it away from you to use it on you fit that criteria? 2. This person has the means at hand to carry out their intent because they are armed with a knife, gun, club, or other lethal weapon, or if unarmed, they are physically capable of overpowering you. There were 3 of them. I think that criteria was met as well. 3. The physical conditions of the encounter are such that the person has the opportunity to carry out the attack. I'm pretty sure that met all the criteria for, shooting the... By the way, Kyle Rittenhouse shot a convicted wife beater, woman beater, a convicted child molester, and an idiot who was out on bail for weapons charges with a handgun. Be like Kyle. And on that note, I'm going to end this podcast and go on over and see if I can talk to some family back home in the States. So it's been fun. I hope you all enjoyed it. I hope you all learned something. I hope you fucking understand what cowards the loony left are. It's just me here. It's just me. I invite them over. But you know what's going to happen. I'm going to fucking gut them, and they know it. So they are cowards, and on that note, maybe next time I'll do something positive. I don't know. I don't really do much. I don't know. Maybe I'll teach a class in Portuguese. I don't know. Something different. Or maybe I'll set up my camera and give a karate class. I don't know. A self-defense class. Something positive other than, dealing with douche nozzles. You too, Jackie. I actually enjoyed having people interact on my, even though, the people come over. But hope you all learned something or at least enjoyed it. And I'm going to go over and try and talk to some people back home. Sometimes they come in, sometimes they don't. And then maybe I'll have a cup of tea and watch some. I watch houseboat videos. I don't know why I'm interested in houseboats. They're houseboat sales videos. Like they do the tour of the houseboat. There's some nice fucking houseboats. Good night, Grumpy. Good night, Jimmy. Thiago in Portuguese.